Hey, what's up, guys? Got another deck list for you here today. Now, this is another one that I saw posted, and I know, I think it was Paul Boyson, wanted to know what people thought about Red Amplified Nail. Now, I'm sure there's multiple ways to build this. I think you could either try to sit on the level 1, you could use either the Heroes and Villains level 1 or this one. I think you're probably better off just using this one. I don't know. I think they're both kind of equally have their benefits. If you're just trying to do more of a beats build, I think just sitting on the one, maybe going to two, is its own build. Me, I kind of leaned out here, and I chose to go red ball. Uh, sorry guys, but this is kind of this could definitely be like a baller and PPV threat. Let's break down kind of my choices and the benefits of Nail. I have a few combos in here that I put in specifically because of Nail, and can work on his level one. Biggest thing I could see is maybe getting stuck on two, but once you get up to three and four, he does a lot of work. I could see you even running like an Unleashed with Nail, and I was actually considering it when I was going to build this, but that would be more if I was going to do like the Energy Beats route and Life Card route, which I think is a different build. Sorry that I'm kind of leaning out and doing this one instead, but maybe maybe this gives you some different ideas here. Uh, so to start off, we have time. Of course, we're gonna have that confrontation at a three. Sphere to one. I'd like to put it at two, but we don't really have the room right now. So one retreat because I did decide to throw some drills in here. We do run enough nons where it's good to have this card. Of course, three dashing attack. Just being able to get this card in your deck all the time on level one, just for that recyclable crit. Really, really powerful. It's a style attack, so it gets around a lot of other effects. We have Tug of War at 1, just for the deck shuffling. We really want the deck shuffling in case we get down to balls and we want to be able to draw them. Nail's Heritage, of course, being actually finally, for me, I think I could see this card actually being good. And generally speaking, whenever I've tried to play this card in Nail decks, it just doesn't really work for me very well. It always feels like people just throw a crap load of non-style attacks at me when I'm playing Nail. But I think this is a better alternative to stop in this deck. Though it is freestyle, it can stop two attacks for you when you need it, which come in really clutch against a lot of these really aggro decks. Red Brace at 3, just endurance. Blocking Hand obviously going to be most decks that want to level that are red. We have Red Disregard, which, of course, because we're doing Red Ball, you want this card in your pile, or sorry, in your deck rather, so you can banish Panics, and you can set up some cute combos with Nail with this. Of course, Red Resource Block. Now, I run this card specifically for when I get stuck on two, because we do run Static Shot and we do run some hit effect anger cards that we can push through with this level 1 to guarantee that we get anger, and it can also help us kind of get off that level 2 should we be getting stuck on it, which if you don't know what the level 2 is, of course, you mill your opponent every time you hit them with attack if they stop it, and if they do use endurance on your attacks, you banish top of their deck for every time they use endurance. It can be good in certain matchups, but really you're going to much rather be on this 1 or this 3 if you can get there. And Resourceful Block can help you skip it, that too pretty well, or at least help you out quite a bit. Now, of course, a lot of endurance on Resourceful Block too, and as you can see, a lot of these blocks and some of these choices I'm trying to put endurance on. So far, not too bad. Now, of course, Stack Shot, great attack. You can buff it up with a Red Amplified Mastery. We're not really too caring about that, but there's a little backup thing that you can do to kind of even out life cards between you and opponent. But we really like is that hit 2 anger, which we can use as level 1 to push it through every time. Really, really nice. Like I said, you combo that with Resourceful Block, and you throw cards like this. Now, I did originally have Red Departing Shot in here, however, it got cut for space, better cards. We have 3 Energy Blast, or sorry, 2 Energy Blast, mostly 2 because we run a few drills, and honestly, we don't really care. We have Ball 4, we can bribe Ball 4. I have After Image Technique, we can After Image Technique Ball 4. Allies, we have a lot of crits, critable attack on Static Shot, of course. Tug of War's in here, dashing attack crits. So really don't even, I mean, and really honestly, no drills really bother us too much for the most part. I could see Orange Empowering Drill being annoying to kill our pile. But otherwise, most of the orange other drills we don't really care about. They don't really do too much to impede our game plan. Acquisition drill, I suppose, maybe. But we have Red Pound, of course. This is a great amplified anger card. You use your mastery to raise your anger, then you play this card for 2 more anger. This is definitely one. This and Stack Shot can definitely get you off that one quick, and hopefully get you off 2. As well as Red Driving Knee. This is another 2 anger card that you can push through, and it's a crit effect you can push through on level 1. Really like this card in Ascension builds that are trying to go for anger, and I do like this card in Amplified too. It works very good. So we have multiple 3 anger cards here that are all being played at 3 ofs. That'll help us kind of get through those levels when we sequence them right. That are attacks alone plus the blocking hand. We have Red Smash here too, and this is mainly to filter out our pile. As far as proccing like red disregards, and also doing our red panics, which we'll get to. But pretty unique, kind of weird attack. And you can. What's nice is you can force the hit attack effect through on level 1. Should you get stuck on one, you want to go for a ball out. You force the hit effect through to be able to go knock a panic or knock some disregards from your pile to help you burst out a level if you've not been banishing them. You could leave a couple in your pile, and you could get a 4 anger swing plus a ball potentially if you have 3 of them in the pile. So again, another multiple anger jump card that you can force through on your level 1 very, very well. We also have Red Speedy Drill. This is mostly in here because it deals the -1 modifier. We don't really care about the Rejuvenate Drill part, honestly. It's probably never really going to happen, but it's mostly for that -1 modifier. Could see a dropout for maybe some setups or some blocks or attacks. But I was thinking, because I wanted to run at least 1 Red Retreat, that it'd be worth it. Blinding is a consideration in this deck, but you know, if I was to run Blinding, I'd probably just you could just probably run Blinding and cut the 3 drills, but I do kind of like the drills. I don't have Freezing Beam in here. I don't entirely know where I'd want to put it. I kind of wanted to try to play more cards that synergize with the level 1 more than anything, so I could see you cutting the drills. It is nice that they're an extra action in combat with Speedy Drill, and I do like the Fort Stance Drill, which we'll get to as a block. However, we don't have a way to tutor them, so I could see what you could do is cutting these 3 drills here in the retreat and going to Blinding Energy move. And then that would free you up 2 spaces, which if I was going to do that, I'd probably do a 3rd Smash and maybe do a 3rd Energy Blast or a throw a 3rd Red Panic in. Probably do a 3rd Smash and a 3rd Panic, honestly. Actually, I'm going to... yeah, we'll do that. Why not? Because we can grab the balls from the Banish Zone. I do like the drills, but if we're not going to bother running the tutors, I think that's a much better option. Now, granted, as you can see, I only recently just made this deck. It's still, you know, just like this this Oppressive Gohan that I was making, and some of these other ones from these suggestions. They're kind of decks are kind of getting figured out as I build them a little bit, as I put more thought. But also, you know, I do like being able to at least show you my thought process behind why I started throwing some cards in and why I'm trying to push it a certain direction over others. We're just gonna throw this up with the freestyles. 2, and we will do red. I suppose I didn't have to search it out. We'll do a 3rd one. Will we do a 3rd one? No, why not? No, actually, we won't do a 3rd one of this. What we will do is do a 3rd Panic, or will we? I'll do 2 Panics still. What we will do is we will do. What's the card I was gonna say? Oh, this card, of course. I saw Paul Murillo, or Murillo. I suppose it depends on if you do Spanish pronunciation of it or not. There's this red Dual Punch, which is another really great hit effect card that you can run with Nail. We will run that at a 2. I'll put it right by that. You could see it running at a 3, but really we don't care about AT physicals. It's just nice for the hit endurance. And here we are. Oh, well. Here we go. Sorry, I had to transition over here. Let's see, we'll throw it at 2 for now. Maybe we'll bump it to 3 by the end of this. But really, we don't. The hit effect is really nice, so maybe we will bump it to 3. But for right now, other cards. So again, we're playing with that hit effect nature of Nails level 1. You know, I think Driving Knee could definitely maybe be altered number. I could see not static. I could see dropping Tug. maybe. I think I need it for the shuffle though. But otherwise, we have a good amount of crit effects, the attacks, the damage. We have a good amount of anger, a good amount of like little cheesy effects that we can pull, little combos that work specifically with Nail, and kind of also with the red discard pile banishment. Let's go down to our setup count. We run a good amount of dead cards in this. So we have 3 Blaze. I could see you dropping that to 2, but I really do like the crit effect. But if you do want to make it a bit more active, you could go a 3rd Dual Punch, I think a 3rd Smash, and maybe just 2 Blaze. But Blaze does give you that rejuvenation, which is really nice, and it gives you the crit, which lets you play these balls. Red Destiny at 3, of course, 2 Anger card, really, really good. Red Bribe at 2, don't really need it at 3, mainly because it's kind of just dependent on seeing Dragon Balls. That's why I like it at 2, unless it's a pure DVB deck, which this kind of isn't. So we have Red Panic at 2. This helps us get our balls from the banish zone. So if we do hit them with blinding, if my opponent does play them, I can still try to ball. And again, we do have the MPPV as a very, very real threat if people are slacking on it. We have 2 relaxations, mainly because space, but also, you know, hey, when entering effects, I think people are starting to tech for. You know, it's still good to run it. I would like it at 3, but again, space, and I think it's a good 2, honestly, for this deck. I don't know how often you're actually going to be drawing a good card with the bottom anyway. But we have enough crit effects that are active that I'd rather have than the out of combats. One after image technique. This is in case people take the balls. This is in case we want to recycle a ball specifically. Or if there's this pesky attach card, maybe I want to get rid of a wall breaker on myself. Or you know, maybe a capture. I want to get rid of black capture. Would be a good one. Or impatience. Either way, I think this is a great ad for any ball deck. This has been just an awesome, awesome card. Watching other people mostly play it, I've ran in a few of my decks, but still really, really good. I think also, what was I going to say here? It does work, oh yes, it does work really good when you do play it as a board block, because you have so many named cards in your deck. You know, you got Dashing Attack, and you have Heritage, which you can always knock out of your deck for that extra block. So just no matter what, it's a really live card. I really like it for that reason. If you think you're going to get a ball crit, you don't have a thing to crit back, you know, shuffle it away. Radar, of course, ball deck, perfect. Balls 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7 of Namek. So much better than Earth Balls. And really the only reason I would run Earth Balls is for the ball 7 and maybe the ball 4. But we have so many crits in the deck that allies don't matter. And we have blinding in here to deal with combat editing. So at least there's that. As far as the list goes, I mean, again, I kind of lamed out. I say lamed out. I did the red ball, but I made it specifically tailored with nail combos. Now, you might think you want to do more aggressive nail. Now, if I was going to make it more aggressive, I would definitely. You could definitely play more of like the level 1-2 rider, and I probably wouldn't run any balls. Or you could run it with Unleashed. I feel like running him with Unleashed is really good because Red Brace with him could be pretty nasty. And you can run Trailing Blast. So that is something to consider with Red Blade. And then maybe run like a Despair Drill as one of your few drills. Or again, you could run more of a drill package that I didn't do. And kind of focus on like the static shots, the Trailing Blasts, energy beats. And then I'd probably still run like Red Pound in that build. I'd run Dual Punch for sure in that. I wouldn't run Red Smash. Red Smash you should really only run if you're going to be running Disregard, which I think you would be running Duck and probably Blocking Hand if you were going to do more of the energy beats route. As well as energy blocks, you could run Flee and Brace, or at least probably run Flee just to be helpful, because I think that can make you pay 0, right? Let's check that. I think you can make it so you pay 0 with Flee. To minimum 0, exactly. So you can make your energies free. Again, I think with that version though, you're really going to be trying to get to the level 2, because there's really not a lot of hit effect cards in red that you care about that aren't anger. And that's why I think the ball is more oriented and better if you're going to be running that whole, the new level 1 that they gave him, because all the best effects in red are either crit damage effects or they're anger, you know? So being able to threaten MPPV, maybe again you don't want balls, maybe you could do more of the beats and try to get on two and be like, okay, you block, mill, banish. I That's a way to play him. I mean, but I'm more in for like the you should try to get to three because level three giving you an anger alone, being able to play a ball from your hands. If it's a ball 3 or 5, or 4 or 2 or 7, whatever, all those powerful Namek balls are so strong. You can really fly off this level, and then when you get on 4, it's really, really scary when you're just bouncing balls in and out of play, dropping them, leveling mid combat with that 3, and then throwing the level 4. That's a Namekian target strike that you have to stop this, on top of having Smoothest Drill Effect and Red Bribe. I think just trying to get to this 4 is really respectable, which is another reason why I feel like the Unleashed version, where you're running Red Brace, or sorry, I'm saying Brace, I mean Red Reverse. I always get those two cards, like the names messed up. It's a good thing I'm not playing Black Scout Maneuver, but we have Red Reverse here, of course. I think that could be really powerful because if you just literally ran Unleashed and some balls, even not even all 7 of them, but just being able to use them on 3 and 4, just get you up to these levels with a nail, so strong. And in red, being able to just play like some stupid setup cards, like Blaze. I think still, if I win Unleashed, I'd still try to play Ball Victory. I think Nail really just wants this. Unless you're trying to really stun this 1 and 2, which I don't think it's good enough in red. I think you really need to be trying to go for those upper levels, and either you run Anger Vic or you go Unleashed. And both have their benefits. I think the Unleashed should be definitely maybe it should be a bit more of a beat version than a ball version, whereas the Anger version should be more of a ball version, I feel. But I think that's the best way to play him. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you like to play him beats and you have a better list or more fun list for yourself than I did. I think like the attacks here that I ran are pretty much the ones that synergize best with him in that level 1. And again, we want to maximize that level 1. A lot of these attacks having hit effects is what you kind of want to synergize with him. But again, some cool combos that I mentioned out that I think can work really good with him, and maybe hopefully this kind of inspires you if you're a Nail fan to maybe try him in red. Maybe you just think that there's better ball MPs. I think this is actually a pretty decent list and could do some work. I'm not saying it's tier 1, but this could definitely be like a fun tier 3 deck, maybe a tier 2 deck if you really, really refined it and you're a really, really good player. But maybe this awkward number of sphere is just not doing it for you. Maybe you like the drills. Maybe you want to play with my numbers a bit and throw more drills in there. Maybe you want to make it more active. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think if you want to try this deck out. And hopefully this kind of inspires you guys to play something out of the norm. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for listening. Peace.